All right, so today we're going to talk about the Klingon Empire. We're going to talk about some of the ships and what we know that are in canon sources for data tables and what we can get. So these are the ships we're going to look at. So first, we're going to start with the birds of prey and find out everything we can about all these different ships. The bird of prey fighter is very small. It carries two two disruptors of 16,250, and it can carry torpedoes. It's very small. Its shield matrix is only able to withstand 65,000 terawatts of damage. So it'll blow up from one torpedo, which we see in Deep Space Nine. We also see a heavy wave spiral canyon from an advanced Galore class vessel towards the end of the battles, destroy it in one shot. And here is another glimpse of the vessel next to some of the other ships. Next is the famous bird of prey, or Klingon Scout, as most people know it. So this is the one from the movie. It's also in Deep Space Nine as well. It has a defense mechanism of 24,375 per bolt, and we know that based off the destroying of Jim Kadar fighters. And we also know the shield matrix on this ship is 390,000. And we know it was blown up by 6 shots from the Defiant. Next is the most common, the Borel class. This ship's weapons are 32,500, same as the Katang. It also carries a shield matrix of 520,000 standard, which is 8 shots from the Defiant. Or there's another version which carries 650,000 terawatts of damage per shield, and it's able to withstand 10 shots from a Galaxy class level weapon from the Jem'Hadar, so it'd be 10 shots. Next is the large Katang class seen in the Next Generation. It is noted that this ship was only seen in the Next Generation. There is an alternate universe where this ship is actually attacking the Enterprise, and the Enterprise is able to destroy it with 11 shots. So that means that its shield matrix is 714,000. Or 715,000, and I believe its weaponry is 32,500. I believe it'd be the same as the Borel. So, one thing to note is I was able to gather a Galaxy class starship. Shield matrix is based upon this ship attacking it and how many times it got shot. And so it came up to a pretty crazy number. So the Galaxy class ship, which we're looking at, was able to withstand 3,120,000 terawatts of damage. So I gave that number to the upgraded Galaxy classes for the Dominion. So if you're looking at those data tables, and you're wondering why there's discrepancies with the Enterprises, is it stated the Enterprises or Galaxy class starships were upgraded during the Dominion War, and so there's no real data on it. So I used this alternate universe war, which is the same timeline as the ratio which I'd be using for the upgrade, because the original Enterprise is 1,300,000, and so the other version is 3,120,000, so it's significantly larger. So I think it would correlate. It does follow, and it is canon, so I went ahead and used it. Next, we're going to look at the Volca class cruiser. So this ship also gives us a data table on the Volca class cruiser, because two of these ships attack a Volca class cruiser in the Next Generation, and we know the Volca class cruiser has a shield matrix of 1,690,000. And we know the Volca class cruiser also has a defense mechanism of 1,115,000. It is noted that we know that the Volca class cruiser carries a heavy disruptor in the front of the ship, and that heavy disruptor is at least delivering 200,000 megatons of damage because it's able to one-shot a Dominion battleship, which is the little small bug ship. Shouldn't say battleship, but the little fighter. It can one-shot that ship. And so if you slow down the frame, you'll see that when the Klingons are coming in to save the Federation, the Volca class cruiser shoots a blast from that middle disruptor, and it's able to blow up the Dominion ship in one shot, which I thought was pretty surprising. So the Katang class cruiser has 325,000 for its shields. We know that the D Space Nine was able to shoot it with standard torpedoes 5 times and blow it up. So it doesn't have a particularly very strong shields. It does carry 6 disruptors, and it also carries 2 torpedo banks. Now, I had come up with a formula where I believed that the ship would there's an upgraded version basically where it uses this big disruptor. It looks like it's coming from the torpedo, where the torpedo was, and supposedly people were saying that this disruptor is like a really, really powerful. And so I thought it was the same disruptor which was seen on the Volca class cruiser, the 200,000 terawatts. And so I had made some analysis with that idea. Unfortunately, it was incorrect. The reason I had thought it was that way is because the ship doesn't seem to use any other weapons but that. And I thought, well, maybe because the ship's pretty big, it's bigger than a lot of these other ships, that it needed that big power source and, everything was directed towards that one thing. But that's not the case. So Eagle Moss has a magazine, and I have the ship, and it states that the some of the upgraded versions, what they did is they put an extra disruptor. And with the Klingons, the disruptors can be beams or pulses, and it's actually located inside of the torpedo bank. So there's a torpedo bank and an extra phaser in there. So it does not carry the 200,000 terawatt heavy disruptor, which I thought it was. I was mistaken, and so I am correcting myself on that. So anyone has seen that data table or seen videos of me talking about that, I was incorrect. So the correct defensive capability of this ship is 375,500. And so basically, it has a decent firepower for a ship of its size, but it's very limited in its shields. And then that's due to the fact the ship is extremely old. It's at least 100 years old. So this ship is able to take 5 torpedoes worth of damage, which gives it a defense capability of 325,000. So that means the ship is kind of a glass cannon. It does carry 7 disruptors and 2 torpedoes with the upgraded versions, but yet it still doesn't have very good shields. So this ship is definitely a glass cannon. All right. And so the Nigvar has already been talked about in the previous video, but I have to throw it in here. So the Nigvar is able to deliver 1,617,994 terawatts of damage. It also has a shield matrix of 3,965,000, and that's based off the Defiant attacking the ship. And so that's the Klingon Empire. So that's all the data tables that we know. I do have to state this one last statement though. The Nigvar data table I gave is based off the Nigvar in the alternate universe, and for its shield value, and its weapon value is based off the Nigvar that we see on canon. So the Klingons themselves, just to give you an idea what their power level, what their weapons are like, I'll just read them off to you guys real quickly. So the small fighter is 16,250 for the disruptor. The Klingon scout is 24,375,000, and then the Borel, and then the upgraded Borel, and then the large Kavart class bird of prey are using 32,500. And so with these other data tables, I gave the Katangas because it's stated the Katangas have been upgraded with more modern weapons. So all Katanga class vessels are using the 32,500 terawatts as well. The same thing goes with the Nigvar and the Volca class cruiser. The only difference is the uh, large heavy disruptors seen in the Nigvar and in the Volca class cruiser is 200,000, and then the Nigvar, the disruptors on the bottom of the ship, they are worth 324,000. I mean, they're planetary disruptors. And so the reason I gave that number to them is the 324,000 is the Type 12 planetary defense phasers, which are used to take out ships from planetary orbit. And I figured since the Federation, the Klingons have been sharing technology, I think that that would be a pretty safe assumption that they would have either equal we would probably have equal weaponry in that planetary defense mechanism. So that one is one I speculated on, and I just want to let you know the Nigbar planet disruptors on the bottom of the ship. It's a speculation of 324,000. All the other data tables are actually based on actual physics from the show.